All right, welcome back. Thanks for joining us. It's the Vegas Take. Sharp and Shapiro. By the way, before we get to this story about this local restaurant, Dirty Dining, let's preview the show tomorrow because I'm really excited about this. A guy who created an app for cannabis is going to be joining us for business owners. He's going to be joining us tomorrow. This is also a controversial story. Of course, the Joker movie is coming out, and we remember the Joker movie, the movie theater, the horrible tragedy where you had that mass shooting in Aurora. Well, that Aurora theater has announced that they are not going to be playing this new Joker movie, and believe it or not, some people are up in arms about it. So we're going to have a special guest to talk about that tomorrow as well. It's a controversial story, and we're going to have to talk about it tomorrow.
And I believe we're also having Mr. X tomorrow.
I was just going to mention that. Mr. X, he is the Hollywood conservative, as we like to call him, a longtime producer out there in Hollywood, JD, and I'm very curious to get his opinion on this whole Donald Trump-Ukraine issue. I think it'll be very interesting to get his perspective on this. So we're going to talk to him a little bit tomorrow as well. So a jam-packed show lined up for you tomorrow. So have we ever been to a restaurant before where we found out that people got sick or, there's some dirty habits going on there? I'm a big fan of Bar Rescue, by the way, and that's not necessarily restaurants, although they do serve food in a lot of these bars, and I watch that show extensively, and I think it's a great show, and it's amazing how disgusting some of these bars are. Well, I remember, I don't remember how many years ago, but I'm going to guess this was at least 7 or 8 years ago, maybe longer. I went to a restaurant called Firefly, and by the way, it still exists here in Vegas, and it's a really good restaurant. It's tapas, really good food. And the restaurant had to shut down because people got sick. They shut them down for a little while, and they since reopened. Well, there's a restaurant in Las Vegas called Capos. It's on Sahara and Lindell. And apparently they got a demerit, a C grade, on September 11th. Apparently there were a couple things that went wrong there. Lighting, basic stuff in the kitchen, said the manager, but not according to the health inspection, which documented excessive dirt and debris on kitchen floors, dirty walls across the grill area, dirty hand sink, mold in the ice machine, and other problems with sanitary issues in the kitchen. It kind of sounds a little bit like my kitchen. It sounds like my apartment. I know our producer, Jason, would certainly agree with that one. So this is the second time this has happened with this restaurant. And as you know, when you have these sorts of issues and it happens multiple times, not only is it horrible for business, but there's a good chance you're going to be shut down. So this is really gross. And I'm not even going to, this is bad. Inspectors also saw a bag of French fries contaminated, uncovered eggplant parmesan, dishware and kitchenware stored as clean that were dirty with dried food debris, and a food handler cutting carrots without washing them first. This is really bad. Apparently there was mold in the ice machine. Raw calamari at unsafe temperatures and cooked pasta. I'll tell you something, man. I was hungry about 10 minutes ago. I think I'm going to pass on lunch. This is really bad. There's another place called Rincon. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Rincon Contraccio on Maryland Parkway in Flamingo. Another Dirty Dining repeat offender. They had similar health hazards, 33 demerits. And we talked a little bit about 7-Eleven before in the past. There's a 7-Eleven on Oakey in Wyoming here in Las Vegas. It was shut down on September 11th for gross unsanitary conditions. This is really bad. This is really, if you're on your lunch break now, I apologize. There were dead flies in the freezer. Base coating had been gnawed by rodents, and black mold and trash filled with floor sinks at this local 7-Eleven. The 7-Eleven manager made a statement, said, "Thank you for bringing this to our attention. The safety and well-being of our 7-Eleven customers is at the utmost importance." I don't know. I might have gotten a Slurpee at this 7-Eleven before. I don't know.
I would say you've definitely played a video poker machine there.
Well, that's definitely evident, but
100%.
Those are always dirty.
So what's the recourse for this? What happens?
Well, if you, I don't know the exact laws on this one, but I know if you're a repeat offender and it happens multiple times and you don't correct the issues, you can be shut down. Usually the first time you get some sort of warning and, hey, slap on the wrist, you got to take care of this, and then they'll come back, and if you fixed all those issues, you're good to go. But if it happens again, you can get in a lot of trouble. But these three places that I named, including the 7-Eleven, this restaurant called Capos, Dirty Dining, and this Rincon Contraccio, they are repeat offenders. How can you go back to a restaurant like this as a customer when they have these sorts of issues? Rodents, bugs, leaving food out, not washing the food. It's gross.
Well, especially with considering when this took place, obviously over the summer, how hot Las Vegas gets. You've got 109, 112 degrees
Yeah.
and you're not doing these things.
And by the way,
I mean, imagine just how disgusting that is.
And Channel 13, by the way, did a story on this restaurant, Capos, and they wanted to get their video cameras to go in there. What do you think happened? And to show the cleaned kitchen, what do you think the manager said?
You tell me, Brian.
The manager said, no, sorry, not today. Which leads me to believe that maybe it's not as clean as it should be, because if I'm a manager and I've had some issues in my kitchen, and these are serious issues, and I did my best to clean it up, I would want I want cameras to go in there and say, hey, look, we took care of it. Here's what it looks like now, because that's good for business, to show people that you can trust us now. We took care of it. But this manager didn't want the cameras to go in there and video it, which leads me to believe it's not completely clean.
I've driven past this place a bunch of times.
Capos?
Yeah, absolutely.
Where is it?
I recognize the name. I recognize the sign in the back of my brain. I don't know exactly where it's at, but I know the name, I know the sign, and I think I've considered going in there on several occasions as well. I
believe back in the day, this place, Rincon Contraccio on Maryland Parkway, I think I have been there before as well. In fact, if memory serves me right, and I hope I'm not wrong on this, but I believe I met Hillary Clinton there when she was running for president against Barack Obama. She made an appearance there, and I was a news reporter at the time. I know it was a Mexican restaurant. I think it was this one on Maryland, but I could be wrong. But well, I'm just shocked.
The Capos location isn't listed there?
I'll check. I don't know exactly where Capos is, but I'll find. Here we go. Sahara and Lindell. It's on Sahara and Lindell.
Is that by KSHP?
I don't know.
We might have actually had lunch there a couple of times, now that I think about it, Brian.
They got a 34 demerit C grade through the health inspection. And the manager said something that is not factually accurate. He said we had some lighting difficulties, some basic stuff in the kitchen. This is not basic. Excessive dirt and debris on kitchen floors, dirty walls across the grill area, dirty hand sink, mold in the ice machine. These are not basic kitchen issues. You know, the best thing you can do as a manager, the best thing you do, and by the way, a caller just called in and said it's on Sahara and Jones. Thank you for that. The best thing you can do as a manager is admit to wrongdoing. And basically, this goes for anything in life, doesn't it? When you screw up, admit you're wrong when you're caught. Make sure it doesn't happen again, right? That's a lifelong lesson. Apparently, these managers are not getting the hint. You were caught. It's disgusting. You're going to lose business because of it. This has happened multiple times. There's nothing minor about mold in an ice machine, okay? If there's mold in your ice machine and you're serving that ice to customers, people are going to get sick. That's not minor, okay? For God's sakes, why don't we just have people urinate in a kitchen? That's minor.
I would love to get the owner of this place on, Nick Santucci.
He's not going to do it.
And have a conversation with him.
He's not. This would be a good time. Hey, why don't we give
Capos Restaurant and Speak Easy.
Hey, I got an idea. Why don't we give a $100 gift certificate right now to Capos? Hey, you guys want to go to Capos? Ocasio-Cortez says you could drink out of the toilets and it might be cleaner than their kitchen. Oh, my God. It's just so disgusting, man. It's just awful. Oh. Well, we hope they take care of it because we don't want innocent people walking in there getting sick. You know, I have clean food every day and I get sick because I eat horrible. I eat fast food and stuff. But I'm telling you, this is
that's totally self-inflicted.
Even and people
you can't blame anybody for your poor diet decisions, Brian.
That's
Stop
true.
Trying to.
That's very true. People know how messy I am, but even I, JD, have not had rodents in my kitchen.
But have you ever had food poisoning?
Never have, no. Although some of our friends have. But anyway, JD, this is a fun show. We're going to have some fun tomorrow. As I said, Mr. X is going to be on, the guy who created an app for cannabis business owners will be joining us, and we're going to talk about this Joker situation in Aurora, Colorado. We're going to take a 21-hour break, ladies and gentlemen. If you missed any of our stuff, check us out at The Vegas Taken on YouTube. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for listening. Sean Hannity coming up next.